This conference will now.
What you're going to see on the screen is what we call our development portal. So the portal currently has not had these changes made to it, but as of March 1st, these changes will be on the portal for people to use for filing. And you'll notice one change on the portal will be where petition shows over here on the left. That now used to say petition including net metering, but it's petition. So it's still the traditional button that you would click to file a petition. One of the newest, biggest changes to the rule for 248 is advanced submissions now must be filed with the commission. And I know there's some people who file 248s who might have not done advanced submissions before, but there's again another frequently used case form button for that, which is this top one here. And we'll go over how to file one of those. And it will be traditionally like a lot of the other filing mechanisms we have in ePUC. So you will just answer again, anything in ePUC. If you see a red asterisk, that is something. I will ask anyone who's not muted if you could mute your microphones, because that would be easier for everyone to hear. Anything with, again, with a red asterisk is a required field. If you don't put something there, the filing will not go through. So for this, we will just use a lot of fake names. And again, it's just like it's always been. If the organization you are adding is not here, you will click here. It will bring you to a new internet browser tab. You will add your organization, and you will then go back to your tab for what you are continuing to file. If anyone has questions about those things, you can let me know. We're trying to do a little higher level of filing here for most people have filed before. The same thing with representative. If your person is not here, you would use this click here to add person. And again, as it says here, return to this tab to continue on. And let's see, advanced submission, there's going to be a couple of questions here once you add your project type. So it's important to pick the correct project type for your advanced submissions so the system will send to the correct parties that ePUC is set to send that notification to. So here we'll just do the straight 248. And you must pick your industry here as well, because you will have to now make sure you choose who the interconnecting electric utility is, or if it's gas, of course, the utility company name. We'll just do the one that's right here. Project locations, and again, we have drop-down lists, so you can pick who it is. And if you have more than, if you have a transmission line or something that's going over one, the blue cities, towns buttons can give you a new panel, and you can then pick anything else that it needs to be. And if you happen to put in a panel that you did not mean to, these minus buttons are good to get rid of them, because your filing will think you're missing information if you have an empty panel there.
Conference will now be recorded.
We ask everyone to turn their mics off, please.
And this is being recorded by the commission to be put on our website. So I don't know if someone had just joined that missed that, but it will be, this is being recorded and will be also available on our website. Where did we leave off? Certification, right? Development of a list of adjoining landowners. There are some changes in the rule too. If you go to 5.402, it will give you a list of who are entitled to this advanced submission, and it's delineated out that on that list there are a few entities, including the interconnecting utility, that will get this filing through our system as a notification. And then there are entities that you need to make sure that you send to outside of the system. And this is where you would use your button to use the browse button to upload a document that is your certification of that. And you can give it a title, and you can, whatever you'd like to call it. And again, your certificate of service, who you're sending everything to. Oops, I just did that in the wrong box. See, even I make errors. And this last box, this is where you'll put all the documents that you need for your, that are required for an advanced submission. And if you have multiple documents that you, after you've uploaded your first, make sure I'm not using the same document over and over. And you can give it correct titles. I'm just giving them. You will always use the blue button here to make yet another panel, and you can then add as many documents as you need to into your advanced submission. And once you are done, you do your CAPTCHA question. And click proceed. And there, we have filed. This is the advanced submission case that we just filed. And anytime you, after you get a new case, you can go in and see what that looks like in the system, and see who it was sent to. I don't know if anyone wants to have me show what that looks like. Or we can go on, and after that's done, once you are ready to file your petition for the 248, we can go on to that. And again, you would go over here, our frequently used case forms, petition. And again, anything with a red dot would be what you need to fill in. 248. And for those that have filed 248 petitions in the past, there'll be a few little changes here of some things that will be filed in the first and second steps. And as you answer questions, sometimes more boxes will pop up. So that's, again, something to be cognizant of, that you have to make the correct choices for here to get everything that you need to file your project. I'll say yes here. say yes or no to that, Ann. I didn't even check. And again, the interconnecting utility or utilities, you can use the green blue buttons to add more panels if you need them. And here this again will be an important one to put for generation projects. So it will ask you questions that you need to fill out. As you go on. I don't know why I don't have anything to fix on that. It didn't make us. All right. And this is where in the past on a 248 filing, you would have uploaded documents as well. Now those documents will now be filed in the second step of the petition, not here, but you still have to fill out these information that it's asked here. Just, yep, as we go. And again, in the past here, if you had put something here, you might have had to put up a document as well. But here we're just answering questions now. The reference number would be what we just did, which I did not write down the number. And did you happen to notice my number?
No, but you can just start typing 24 dash and then a pop-up
Right.
list will appear.
See, helpful. And you can choose it from the list. There we go. And this is an important step here when you're filing your first step of any petition. You have to add your witnesses here. So you'll have them in the system for your second step when you attach pre-filed testimony and other documents. So that is one step that be sure not to miss, because you won't have them in there when you go to your second. And again, confidential documents, please make sure you read here. There's not traditionally a lot in the first step. So those are not to be the actual document to be put into the system. This is important to read here. This will tell you what documents are required in your first step and what will be done in your second step after this case has been filed. These are very informational sections of a lot of our filing forms that can help you out to make sure that you have filed the correct documents to get your case in. And so here we're going to, so you put everything under your public documents. If you click the magnifying glass like I just did, you will find lists of the document types here, so you can upload using the browse button. So we have our just make sure I don't miss one. And you could also, using the magnifying glass, or you can start to type. and the machine will show working, and then you can pick the correct document type for what you want to file. So how many more we got here? List of joining. I should have written this down because I'm slow here. I apologize. What else do we have? List of entities and our fee forms. And again, I'm just going to check my list to make sure. There's optional documents and things, but I think we have everything here now. When you have everything in, and it's important that your documents should all have, you should not put the same document in two different uploads because it will think that there's an error. So hopefully I have used different documents. And then this is an important question. Have all your documents been uploaded? For a 248, you do have to do a second step. So it's important to say no. So you can go in and add these other documents in a second step. After you do this and you click proceed, you will get a case number added to your dashboard. Whoops, see, this is helpful. It tells you that I missed a question. Anytime you see these pink boxes, it will be helpful like this to show you that you had missed something, and you can go down and fix that. And then try again. Oh, this is my fault because I did not write down the number. I used something that we've already used to attach. So this is helpful, so it can show you all how important it is to have the right information when you're filing. And can you see in there which one that I
You can
did?
use, this is okay, Ollie. You can go ahead and proceed. It'll be fine if you hit submit again. It's really that there's another document I think you need to attach.
For the advance, it
The
says
yellow
advance.
one is just a warning.
Oh, I did miss a document. See, this is very good training for everyone because I make mistakes. I missed the certification. I thought I had hit it. That's my fault. Trying to, here, we'll pick another one. Okay, now we'll fix that. Which certification did I miss? Submission. So to fix that, we'll just do another public document. There we go. All Let's hope I'm not giving you all another bad advice. Here we go. There we go. My apologies for missing a document, but you all can see how easily that happens. So what we just did is, this is the new number for what we have just filed. And to do a second step, the select action for the case, you'll now notice, for anyone who has filed previously doing second steps, our second step now will show just add second step. It previously said add second step petition, or if you had been filing a tariff case, it said add second step tariff. But now we just have one second step. So don't think that something's missing from the select action bar when you go to file. So there is the second step. And then for
Holly, you
second
might want
step,
to be in the advance notice right now. You might want to be in the petition when you do this.
oh, that was my fault. Boy, this is not going well for Holly today, is it? A little more. Correct. I hit the wrong select action bar. Here we go. Thank you, Anne. Now we're in the right place. And again, there's always instructions for using the forms and the directions about exhibits and things. One thing about when you're adding for each witness, it's best if you do everything for one witness at a time in a second step uploading, and especially be cognizant of how, if your file, how large your files are as well. Makes the upload happen easier if you do everything in one for one witness at a time. So we'll just do a couple documents here just for an example. And that way, if you had more than one witness, you would have a list here. And again, that would be more of doing each witness as an upload. And then if you had direct pre-filed, then you would use this button again to get more panels to then upload anything else that you have. Each exhibit, again, will drop down choices for you to fill out for each one. We're just gonna do one exhibit here. And you have to, I'm just gonna do simple numbers for one, and you go, would put in exactly what each document is marked. And then here, if you were doing a second witness, you would say no, that you're not done. So you can go back and repeat the second step process again for your next witness. But for this example, we only had the one. So once you're done, and this is again really important, once you have uploaded all your exhibits and testimony for each witness, hit yes. So that way it tells the system that you are done filing. Otherwise, it's still pending completion, waiting for you to do more into the case. And the other changes for 248 are once we've done some changes to substantial change requests that happen in a case, or amendments. So what we will do is go into, this is the actual case. So here. If you have a substantial change to your project before you have been issued a final order on the project, there was a memorandum that I just sent out to the large list, but it will be also findable on our website as of the March 1st that gives directions on how to file these kind of changes. And again, this one is before the commission issues a final order on the project. So you would go in and make all other documents, correct, Dan?
No, you're uploading your pre-filed testimony and your exhibits.
Well, that for a substantial change.
Yes, because you would have testimony describing your substantial change. It would typically be, if it's before a CPG is issued, you would typically be describing that in either supplemental pre-filed testimony or in rebuttal.
Or there wouldn't be a
testimony.
document first. I thought there would be a document first as an other first. So this one would just be going into your, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm now. Anne was much better with the changes to this than I, so I apologize to everyone. So this is where, Anne, they will have the question that they must say yes to?
Yes. If you keep scrolling down, when you select your document type, if you select rebuttal, surrebuttal, or supplemental pre-filed testimony, a question will appear.
There we go. I'll let you
And
continue explaining that.
sure, that question, well, they can't see it right now, so we'll let you go ahead, pick the document, and then.
Yeah.
So the question, is this filing proposing a substantial change to a pending petition? It is very important that if you are proposing a substantial change, that you select yes to this question. Otherwise, ePUC does not know that you want to provide notice of this filing to the entities who are not parties, but who ePUC provided notice to of your initial filing. And the rule requires that the notice go to those entities. So I just want to emphasize, please remember to select yes to this question. If you select no, ePUC will not provide notice to those other entities, and the review of your changes may be delayed as you will need to provide notice to those entities yourself.
Okay, there, I was off on my notes. So that's all during before you issued a final order on the project. Now, amendments have changed as well. If you have a case that you want to file an amendment to an approved project, we now have amendment subcases that will appear, or you can file, I should say. We have, again, in that new memorandum that will go out, explains how to file the requests pursuant to 5.412 and 5.413. The amendment subcases will send, again, notices to any entities listed for entities that should receive notice of the amendment. If your case is closed, I know in the past we've always told everyone to file them in new cases, but there are changes to that as well. If it has been commissioned at the time the change is proposed, the proposed changes will be a new petition case as we have gone on. But if the approved project or a portion of it that will be subject to the change has not been commissioned at the time, or they're based on non-substantial changes to the project, they'll be filed as a new amendment subcase in the existing case. And again, if it needs to be reopened, you can contact the clerk email and we will reopen the case for that. So you will see now under the select action bar, there is an add amendment option. And what that will do is that will be where you can choose that from the select action bar. And then you will add your amendment document. And all the appropriate documents to go with that. And then note here, it's a reminder that after you do this, you must use the add second step. Because your proposed amendment will not be processed until you've done your second step form and added all necessary documents for the amendment. And that second step would be done just as you would the second step from when your initial filing. So you would go through here and add second step and add all the new information into the case. And ePUC does provide the new amendment subcase information to all entities receiving notice and to any subscribers that have subscribed to the case, and provide all the second step information to the parties and subscribers as well. So that's pretty much all the changes to filing a 248. And I apologize for the little bit of confusion I had, but that just shows you that it's a learning curve all around. And is there anything that I did miss with the
No,
new
I think you've covered everything, Holly. Are there any questions there? I don't see any questions in the chat. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, we have a question in the chat. The certificate of service document is a new required document for an advanced submission and petition. Do we have more information about the desired format of those documents? The rule doesn't specify a specific format for the certificate of service document, so this is up to you to provide the information in it so it's clear, and we can those staff who are reviewing it can see who exactly you served the filing on. Any other questions?
Hopefully that meant that I covered.
There's a question about 248A. So what we're talking about today is just the changes as a result of the change to the Section 248 rule. We have not made any changes at this point with respect to the standards and procedures order for 248A telecommunications projects.
This did have to go with the 248Js as well, though. Just throw that out there.
Is project area size the same as a project's limit of disturbance? I don't have an answer to that question. That's a good question. We'll have to look into that. Any other questions?
And also, I want you all to know, calling our office, my staff is open to helping you, or you can email my clerk email, and I can help you with any questions or issues you have with filing in ePUC as well. Because as I showed you here today, there's a few different changes, and sometimes they can be a little confusing, and we're here to help and help you get everything filed anytime. All right, without any other questions, I think we will conclude this, and hope you all have a very great day.
Thank you.